Hi, I'm your host, Hannah Sanders, and almost Gable, and today we will be learning how to make a wedding bouquet. So we have lots of flowers, and the end product will look something like this. It will be nice and full, and it will have a wrapped stem. Your bouquet size totally depends on what you would like it to be. I did larger ones for my maids of honor and my maid of honor, and then I did a smaller one for our junior bridesmaid. Also, the colors completely depend on what you would like to do. I chose to go with Lings. It is a company that produces fake flowers, and they are a foam type, so they're very durable, and they also look very realistic. The nice thing about that is that you can make it far in advance. So, you're going to start by having a flower, and you're slowly going to maneuver the stems to fit together. And then what I normally do is I simply twist the flowers together. And while you are doing this, you can just completely layer it with as much color as you would like. I do varying creams and whites, and then the burgundy, which is the main color for the bridesmaids. That will be their dress, and then they have their bouquets, and then the groomsmen will be wearing navy. So if you wanted to put any different hints of those colors in there, you can feel free to do so because it's your wedding and you're making the bouquets. The really nice part about this, as I stated earlier, is that you can make it as large as you would like it or as small as you would like it, and then you yourself can make one that you can toss or whatever you would like to do with it, and since they are fake, they'll stay forever. So I like to make sure to have a lot of different red in there, just because I want that color to come out, and my bouquet will be mostly white, and the colors are very important. That's why you chose them. So as you can see, I'm just slowly layering them together, and I am twisting the stems, and I am slowly bending these out so that they can form a nice arch. As you can see on this, I don't know if you can see that. And as you wrap them together, you'll start to see a bouquet form. And like I said, as long as you want to do it, you can, or as small as you want to do it. It is completely dependent on you. And while you're doing this, it's a fun little activity because you can do it with your bridesmaids, or you can enlist the help of your mother or your mother-in-law or whatever you would like to do, and it can become a fun little girls' evening so that you can have some fellowship over the preparations. If you're anything like me, you're extraordinarily busy, so it's very beneficial for it to be able to be done in so much advance. Because as I was previously stating to my production crew, the break right before the wedding, which will be held on January 11th, is going to be going by quite quickly, and the time is quickly approaching. We only have 10 days left and until the end of the break begins, so to speak, and then after that it is go, go, go for wedding preparations. With these, you can also add embellishments if you have any like glitter or jewels you would like to add, and those can go together and they can make or break the bouquet. I didn't bring any with me today. However, that is because this is going to be not one of my maid of honors bouquets, and so it isn't going to be as flashy as the larger ones. These bouquets typically are very nice because of the durability and because of the maneuverability. So if you don't like a flower on there, like say I didn't like where this red one was, you can simply unwrap it. And when you're unwrapping it, that allows you to be able to change it as you would like. And here's the break. Ever struggle with communication due to language? This is Patricia, who speaks Spanish.
Hola!
This is Margot, who doesn't speak Spanish and needs to find the closest bathroom.
They are struggling to communicate, and every second, Margot struggles more.
Don't fear, there is a solution.
Hannah's Hear Goods. They translate conversations in real time. All you have to do is plug the headphones in, put them in your ears, talk, and listen.
Thanks, Hannah's Hear Goods!
Welcome back. I'm sure that that break provided you with a little bit of rest from making these bouquets at the hard work that you've been doing. Now that your bouquet has been completed, if you like how it looks, then you can proceed to the next step, which is going to be to get some floral tape. You can buy this anywhere. I literally went to the dollar store and got this for $1. So as you can see, making your own bouquets is definitely going to be the more practical way to go if you're trying to save money on your wedding. With the floral tape, you're going to want to start as close to the top as you can as to cover the stems. And typically I tear off an amount of it, and I will lay that to the side, and then I will get more as I need it. So you're going to wrap, and I like to go in the same direction that I went with the stems. And then I go back over it and reverse the wrapping so that it's a good hold. And typically with these bouquets, there is a side that you're going to like more than the others. And what I do to indicate that is I slightly bend out the stem so that I know that that's the side that I want to face the front. So this will be the side of the bouquet that you will be seeing. And then this side of the bouquet you won't see. So if the wrapping's a little bit messed up on this side, it's totally okay. So you're just going to continue wrapping these bouquets. And that will allow for it to look more realistic because it makes a uniform green and you can't see the wire stems. Also, if you would like, you can get wire cutters and you can trim down the size of the stem so that it's not as long, especially if you have a junior bridesmaid. You don't want them holding something that's half the size of them. So you can trim down the size of the stem, or if you don't have wire cutters and don't want to invest in them, you can simply bend the stems in half, which is another great aspect of having the wire flowers. Now, I made it go all the way down the stems with that one piece of tape that I pulled off. It depends on how tightly you wrap it and what you do with that to indicate how much you will need. But I'm going to go back over it just to make sure it holds, because if you can see, it is kind of coming apart right at the very top, the tape is. So I am going to now rewrap it. So again, I'm just going to pull off an amount of tape. I don't ever measure it because you're simply just wrapping it and it's going to be covered up by their hands anyways. So this time I'm going to be going in the reverse direction. Last time I went around it clockwise, and now I'm going to be going counterclockwise. Another good aspect of this is that it's kind of therapeutic and you don't have to be focused completely on the bouquet. As you can see, I've been talking and wrapping at the same time, and therefore it can allow for you to make other decisions on your wedding or plan other things, such as, the simple things like what color socks is the groom going to wear with his suit, or what color eyeshadow you're going to wear. Those things can seem very insignificant and you might forget about them, but it's always good to talk about those because you don't want to be freaking out on the day of. And another great thing about these bouquets and these flowers is that you can get them in different sizes. And so if you would like to use them, I made little flower girl crowns out of these smaller roses. And I simply did this by selecting 3 different roses, and you can get them in the different colors that you have. I just opted to go with the burgundy because they will be wearing white dresses. And I twisted them together and I wove them into a circle. And then as you can see, this is the unwrapped version of it, and then this is the wrapped version of it. So as you're making all of these things, I hope that you enjoy it, I hope that you have fun, and I hope that you get to have some good conversations, as well as kind of unleash your creativity and maybe not be quite as stressed about the wedding, because a short wedding is very, very close and it does get very difficult whenever you're trying to plan and juggle many things at one time. So thank you for joining us on today's show, and we look forward to seeing you next year, hopefully with a different last name.